Thank you very much. It's very nice to be here. I recognise some of you, most of you actually, and I don't know if anybody knows my background. I don't know if anybody knows I used to work in technology. I was going down, like Luke's missus, going down to Parliament every month up until last year, not knowing that my life was a complete lie. So, I think the reason I know what's going on now and how to play the system is because I was in it, not realising all the tricks they were playing on us all. So I figured out all the tricks, and none of this bullshit exists if you don't focus on it. It's that simple. But for some reason, a lot of you are addicted to the distraction and the drama and the bullshit, and it doesn't exist. It really doesn't exist if you don't look at it. I can't make it any simple. I'm going to play an Alan Watts, if anyone knows Alan Watts audio. So I'm ashamed to say this, but up until 3 months ago, I'd never heard of Alan Watts.
How dare you?
Fuck off. He came on, nothing's random, but he came on randomly after something else I was listening to on YouTube, and it gave me goosebumps. And not much in life gives me goosebumps. And I've been listening to it every day since. It's almost become like a mantra. And I keep playing it now at my meetings and my talks and on Zooms, and it seems to be having the same effect on other people. So I'm going to play it because it's called Don't Be Afraid, It's All a Show. And I think the problem we're in a lot of this mess is because people are terrified of a fucking regime that's bullshit. It doesn't have authority over you unless you give it. That's that simple. So if you get rid of the fear, they've got nothing on you whatsoever. And that's all you need to get rid of, the fear. You can do anything else. So I think that's what most people are struggling with, yeah? Fear. Fear of your public servants. They're closing the term, public servant, they serve you. Yeah. It's going to play it for me. So it's called Don't Be Afraid, It's All a Show, and it really is a show. I've had the best 16 months of my life because I've not focused on any bullshit. You know, Luke. Right. Yeah. I've got a whole bit here.
Now you see, it's true, we mustn't give the show away. That's why there are esoteric teachings. But on the other hand, there is another opposite extreme, which is not realizing that the show is a show. And that's as bad as giving the show away. So you have always, when you are in the theater, say you go to the movies, and you go to see some great horror movie, awful thing. Well, why does one do it? You want a thrill. And the whole of the universe wants a thrill. That's what it's all about. Otherwise it would be boring. But when you go to the movie, you know in your heart of hearts that it's only a movie. And yet you contrive to some degree to forget this while you're there. And therefore get scared and feel real creeps. But that's great. Some people like to go and cry. They go and see some tragedy and just love to weep. Because it's a catharsis. It gets all the salt out of it or something, I don't know. And so you do this thing. And we can say it's vicarious. Yeah. But that is the spirit of showmanship, of play. So one might say then that it is possible in this life to attain a sort of metaphysical courage in which you really know deep within that the most harrowing experiences that physical existence can offer are a show. Now this is the, what you might call ultimate nerve. And for example, when the samurai in Japan studied Zen, that's what they wanted to get from it. They wanted to get ultimate nerve, so that absolutely nothing would faze them. So there is a poem that says, under the sword lifted high, there is hell making you tremble. But go ahead, and there is the land of bliss. Don't hesitate, see? Don't be blocked, don't be phased, nonplussed by the illusion. Now you would say, well, that's all very well, but I can't bring myself to that. I start to shake and I can't stop it. It's nothing to do with my will. And no amount of gritting my teeth, clenching my muscles, exercising my willpower can get rid of the shakes when I am really scared. That's true. But you must remember that the secret to all this is not to be afraid of fear. When you can really allow yourself to be afraid, and you don't resist the experience of fear, you are truly beginning to master fear. But when you refuse to be afraid, you are resisting fear. And that simply sets up a vicious circle of being afraid of fear and being afraid of being afraid of fear, and so on. And that's what we call worry. Worry is simply a chronic condition. And people who worry are going to worry no matter what happens. Because when one possible threat is exterminated, they will immediately discover another. Because worry is an infinitely skinned onion. And you can go on and on and on, because the moment you reduce the size of the onion and you get your worry down to about this, suddenly your whole sense of distance and size changes. And because you're looking so intently at this little onion, it fills your whole field of vision, and is once again a big onion. See? You start peeling that down. But as you get another one about this size, then it enlarges itself in your judgment and your sense of values. And once more it's colossal. Now that's always going on. So if you are disposed to worry, there is always plenty to worry about. You make plenty of money and you have no troubles about that, then you start wondering if you're going to get a disease. And the doctor says, no, it's all right, you've nothing wrong with you. Then you wonder if you're going to get into an accident. And then you take precautions, and then you wonder if there's going to be a political revolution, etc. Whether your house is going to be robbed. There's always something. So it is really, this kind of worrying is a completely useless pursuit. And yet, we feel a little guilty if we don't.
So you feel a bit guilty if you don't worry, but it's absolutely fucking pointless, because it's not fucking real. None of it's real. If it was real, I wouldn't have been having the best 16 months of my life. I really have had the best 16 months of my life. I've lost most of my old friends, which is fine, because they're all weak pussies who are not very intelligent, still wearing masks. No, they are though, fuck them. They're fucking different. But the people that I've met in the last year, you know, the friends for life, they're courageous, they're brave, they're intelligent, they're taking me to new levels. So this is all meant to be. Everything that's happening now is where we're meant to be. So it's the best time to be alive right now, but you've just got to look at it in a different way that they are trying to portray. If you're looking at the media, so you've got sheep on both sides of the fence here, and some of you are going to be guilty of this, because I heard people talking before in the talks. So you've got the sheep who are scared of a virus, and then you've got to scare the conspiracy theorists with loss of freedom. Neither of it's real. You haven't lost your freedom. You've got people protesting outside empty buildings for a year on a weekend for the freedom that they never lost in the first place. So everybody's fucking lost their heads. If you just focus on yourself and focus within and stop looking at the distractions that they're trying to steal your time, your energy and your sense of purpose with, then you'll have the time of your life like I have. But if you're just going to keep looking at the media all day and the false legislations that don't apply to living human beings, by the way, only to persons and citizens, then you're going to be scared and worried. I'll talk about I know everybody wants to know about council tax and stopping paying bills, but I'm trying to get your head around the fact that none of it's real first, because there's no point, you know, not paying your council tax if a bailiff's going to turn up and you can't get your head around who you are. And you can't grasp it, it's just a show. And it's all optics. So I'm just trying to get your head around, stop focusing on distractions, go within, empower yourself, become so mentally resilient and courageous so you know even the most harrowing experience is just a show, you'll be fine.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm doing it, all my friends are doing it. So there's loads of people in my Telegram group, we're all doing it. There's people getting thousands back from the bank. So I'm not an expert, I'm not a genius, I'm not a lawyer, I've just fucking figured out the tricks. That's it. And that's all they've got, guys, all they've got is tricks. And so this one is, so I started meditating about 3 years ago. My meditation teacher, Transcendental Meditation, he played this to me, and I can't explain how you need to conduct yourself with all the distraction going on better than this little animation called The Samurai and the Fly can. Has anyone seen it? Did you? Yeah, you see it. Yeah. So just play this. It's only, can you see what it says there? Can we just go back to that, Luke? Cheers. Cheers, my beautiful assistant, Luke. Debbie McGee. So it says, peace, it does not mean to be in a place where there's no noise, trouble, or hard work. It means to be in the midst of those things and still be calm inside in your heart. So if you can get to that level, they've got nothing on you. They can try and scare you with fucking death, which doesn't exist. Health loss, which again doesn't exist because you can heal yourself. Or loss of money, but there's no money, so there's no fucking debt, so they've got nothing to scare us with. Well, so you can just watch this. Why are you laughing, you?
It's just mega true, like.
It's bullshit. It's all bullshit. I'm going to call this fucking talk. It's all bullshit. Right, you need to be like the samurai. The flies, the distractions, the noise, the media, sheep, anything. So does that make sense? So you've got to stop fighting flies. Just change the way you look at them. That's it. There's nothing you can do about the overall agenda. Everyone's been double jabbed now, pretty much. People are starting to drop like flies. So there's no point fighting them because they'll drop anyway. So I wasted a lot of energy trying to wake people up last year, and it got me nowhere really in the grand old scheme of things. I'm not friends with those people anymore. And a lot of them won't thank you for it either. So just focus on yourself, your loved ones, your friends, and focus on creating the new world, not trying to change the cesspool of an old world. Isn't it? It's actually very simple. I don't know why people are protesting, because the government, if you understand the way the government, the parliament's set up, so I'm trying to explain it simple. So we created parliament So it's a legal fiction. It didn't come before the people came first. So you can't have the legal fiction having control over something that created it. It's like baking a loaf of bread and then being governed by that bread. It's exactly the same thing. That's why Theresa May said in 2017, you're all governed by consent. Everything's by consent, you're policed by consent. Legislation doesn't apply to any people, any human being, sorry. So if you consent to being a bill payer, a taxpayer, a resident, legal occupier, householder, then you're going, hi, it's me, I'm liable. That's all it is. If you think, and again, I didn't break in, but I got into an empty property a few weeks ago, and if anyone's been on my Zooms, I've told this story, because this kind of, when you see a visualisation, it kind of, sometimes it's easier than explaining it. So I got into this empty property and there's all these, it's been derelict for about 10 years, and there was all this mail, like knee high, and I just started looking at it. I was trying to find the owner because I wanted to take over this property. And I was just going through, I had to find a load of council tax bills, so I started opening them. And it was for people from years ago, and they're all in, well, fake debts. Someone had 18 grand, someone had 12, all these different names. Now these people had moved on, passed on, whatever, but they didn't know they were in this debt, so they weren't in any worry probably. The reason that you worry is because you open the fucking mail and they go, I'm paying it. That's it. And I've started to return all my mail. My friends sealed these letterbox up. I don't receive anything anymore. They all got sent back, so I'm not consenting to anything. So with regards to the council tax then, is anyone, the reason I put everyone in a circle is because as I've realised over the last few months is that there's other people doing this. It's not a one size fits all. So there's plenty of ways to skin a cat, and it's not my way or the highway. There's people that have been doing this longer than me. I stopped paying my bills last February, just before the lockdown, and then kind of tried a few different things that didn't work. And then this seems to be working for me. But I also figured out the bailiff illusion and all that stuff as well, so I'm prepared to deal with them if they turn up. So there will be repercussions, but you've got to see through the optics, the show, and be strong enough to deal with them. You know, I've got a friend who's a single mother in Nottingham. She opened the door to a bailiff the other week. She stopped paying a council tax. She's renting, and a bailiff turned up. She opened the door. It was my friend Natalie, and it was like a bailiff's right. Oh, fuck off! And just slammed the door in his face. That's a single mother of 3 kids. So that's what you need to get like with these people. They're not above you. They're way down the pecking order. They probably get £15 an hour or something. They have 3 chances to try and scare you into paying up the cash that you are meant to owe them. But if there's no money, there's no debts. Look how quick they printed all the fucking furlough money and the bounce back loans last year. If they wanted to free everybody, then they just print loads of money. But that's not going to work for the stress slave system, where you're constantly thinking you're in debts. So they can print out this cash anytime they want. So the council tax thing, I kind of tried a different tactic last year. If anyone's in my Telegram channel, I've got a few different templates. Loads of us have tried it different ways. Someone came on a Zoom call a couple of weeks ago and she said, I've just challenged them on 5G masts and investing in arms, which I thought was a great way. So what law do you know what says you've got to pay council tax, TV licence and water? Have you seen a law? Anyone? Energy as well? Energy's free, energy can't be created, so why are you paying someone that doesn't even supply it? Why are you not paying National Grid? Why are you paying to be poisoned your water? Have you checked your water? You got a little TDS meter and checked your toxicity levels in the water? Has anyone checked it recently? Have you checked it?
I'm going to do it as soon as the thing arrives.
Right, yeah. These are service providers, allegedly, but they're poisoning you or they're fleecing you for stuff that's already free. And when you challenge them on it, they can't answer it. I'm not telling anyone to do anything, I'm just sharing the stuff that me and my mates have done. And we're all doing it, and the more people that do it, the better. They've got not a leg to stand on because none of it's lawful. You don't see birds charging each other to live in fucking nest, do you? I don't know, maybe they've started to do that. I don't fucking know. A capitalist fucking society and birds. I don't know we're not meant to be living like this. And they know that, that's why you consent to everything. Police by consent, governed by consent. That's why when you first move into a property, they don't address it to your name, they don't pull you from some sort of register, they wait for you to ring up and consent and give your name, your legal fiction name. You know you're not your name, don't you? Is that another thing that I need to explain? You're not your name unless you want some benefits from the system, like bounce back loans, like I did. Then I'm suddenly a legal fiction again. Yeah. So you've got to use it both ways. I'm on furlough, yeah, Stacey again. When they want something made, no, person's moved out. So you've got to have some fun with this, guys. You really have. Otherwise, you're gonna lose yourself in it all.
I have noticed, Stacey, recently, there's a trend now on YouTube. They're rolling out all these academics now to discredit the straw man. So, yeah.
The more censorship and the more they're trying to. I mean, there's a lot of. I've noticed in the last couple of weeks, like there's rumours going around about being controlled opposition again. It's like, I think a couple of people in here spread that rumour as well a few months ago. But when they're seeing what we're getting somewhere, they fucking bring out the big guns. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing. We need to seize that as a gratitude. I'm glad. It means that we're getting somewhere. It means that we're scared. What's that? Oh yeah, cool. So don't worry about it. The more of us that do this, the better. The power's in more of us doing it, really. And just stop being scared of fucking servants that work for you. That's it. Not one person. When everybody shut the businesses down last year, how many people said, okay, just before a shut or before you come into my business, can I just see evidence of said virus? Everyone just closed? I don't know. People are asking enough questions. And that's all I'm trying to teach people, to start using the brains again and just start asking questions. So the council tax last year, when I learned all this, I was like, I wrote this big long template, like 18, 19 questions, whatever it was. And it was going through the Local Government Act of 1888 and all these things, but probably overcomplicated it. They never actually responded to that. I sent that off in July last year. So I paid my last council tax bill in February. I sent that template off, it's in my Telegram group, which you're all welcome to have. I sent it off in July, I heard nothing until February this year, and then they sent another bill. So I was like, well, don't fucking play that game. The bill goes back with another letter, and they've not sent anything since. I'm waiting for some minion council worker to turn up at my door, but no one's turned up. And I'm waiting for them. I've got the kettle on. I don't care. I'll happily ask these questions if they turned up. All you're doing is asking questions where the public funds are going. You're entitled to ask. You've not once said you're not paying. If you look at the templates, if you look at the letters that I've sent, you never refuse to pay. Act honourable, always remain in honour, and just say, hang on, I'm happy to pay, but can you answer these questions? That's it. That's it. You don't want 5G masks going up outside your door, do you? I don't know. So that was probably a complicated way of doing it last year. Anyway, I've started helping people on their own personal journeys now, on a one-to-one basis. So I had a girl called Leah in the Northeast. She sang for us at the festival, brilliant girl. And I said, you know what, let's just keep it simple. What does council tax actually pay for? So we went through the list, and it was a whole host of services, libraries, fitness centres. Go through the list, have a look. Apart from bin collection, guys, you've not had anything in the last year, because the country's been in a stage 3 to 4 lockdown for most of the year, so you've not actually had access to most of those services. So why the fuck has it gone up 12.5%? What the fuck? Where's your fucking formula that you've used to work this out? So that's what we've done now. We've asked this. We've got a new template, new letter, and that's all we're asking. Most of them won't answer that question. They won't answer, or they'll send you a link and try and fob you off. But the fact is, just keep fighting back at them. Withhold your payments immediately. Stop paying for something you've not had access to services with. Is anyone doing it already? Because this is why I put people in circles, because I know there's already people doing it. See, if we were in if I was on the stage, you wouldn't have probably said anything. What do you do? How are you doing it?
I literally sent a letter off about 2 weeks ago, just asking for where exactly the family is going.
Yeah, see?
And I've not had a response yet.
I'll be amazed if you get a response. Fair play to you though, having the balls to do it. So you're
It
asking.
took me a while, I was a bit nervous, but I just thought,
You didn't come to my talking, did you? I don't think. Oh, yeah. Alright, cool.
My mum said similar stuff to you though, about protesting and stuff, so I just kind of did my research.
Tell Paris that then. Loves to protest, Paris. We love you anyway. But that's what I mean, you just ask the questions. Just ask the questions, that's all. Anything you can ask them. You might think it's something better than us, that's fine, but just don't be afraid to ask and challenge these public entities that work for us, spending our cash. There's no point waving banners outside empty buildings and banging drums if you're still funding the system. And if you actually look at the constitutional law, which is written down British constitutional law, Magna Carta, you're not meant to be funding a tyrannical system like this. That's unlawful to do so. So until you get that cleared up, whether that's been invoked, Article 61 of Magna Carta, no one should be paying anyway. There's loads of things you can ask these bastards. Just get cracking and just keep firing fucking paper at them. Give them a fucking headache like they do with those papers every week. Fuck off. And is anyone else not paying? No? Everyone's still paying?
I've done it in the past and then started paying again. So the reason being.
Do you want to?
Oh God, I don't know.
Okay, go on.
I've got a loud got, go on.
No, because something will resonate with someone. Whatever you say.
So I'll be honest, I'm a little bit conflicted.
Right.
Because years ago, I got into the kind of freeman of the land and common law.
Right, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I've never been a good bill payer for many, many years. And in the past, you used to just be able to move house.
Right, yeah.
Get away with everything. And I watched a lot of people. So I followed the movement where people were stopping the mortgage payments, council tax, lots of different things. And I watched a lot of people, including myself, getting away with thousands and thousands of pounds worth of debt, getting money back off the banks. I've done that all on.
Okay.
I also watched...
I'll just go.
I also watched some people getting a lot of shit.
Right.
A good friend of mine got a house repossessed with the kids screaming in the background because she followed the Freeman of the Land templates. I know it's changed. Yeah, it's changed a lot now. But there's still I had a bailiff at my door, 6 o'clock in the morning, dressed like a copper, caught me unaware after a few wines the night before, foot in the door, really looked like a copper. So I'd open the door, his foot's in.
Why would you open the door to a copper anyway?
Well, with hindsight, you're caught off guard, and my daughter was crying in the background. So I'm conflicted a little bit, especially with single mums, because I believe in everything you're saying, and I believe that they don't deserve a fucking penny off us.
Right.
And we shouldn't be paying any of that. But I do believe we've got to be a little bit careful with it, especially with the mum.
But even if they'd have got in, right, no one's going to come and beat up your kids. What they might do is take your TV.
No, but they traumatised her. And I work with child trauma. And in my eyes, it's about getting the balance between the energy. So the energy of it, if it gives me peace of mind that no one's going to be...
We're never going to be out of this if we have this. I know why.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I agree. But I just think, what I think is, what we need to do, I'm totally behind you. I fucking love every word you've said, but what I think is we need a little bit more of a community support network to do it, so that some of those who might be in a vulnerable situation, who might be scared with bailiffs at the door, that we've got that support and empowerment behind them. Just because I've been on Beat the Bailiffs and the Bank's Facebook site for many, many years, and I've got frustrated as fuck with some of them, because they were giving this information, and you'd have like mums on there going, they're trying to get in, they're at my door, and kids crying, and then I've seen others like, woohoo!
My mate Natalie, right?
Living the dream, it's just a balance with it.
Let's not focus on problems. I get what you're saying, I totally get it.
Just more of a support, we do it.
I get it, no, it's a good point, And no thanks, cheers. No, the thing is, like, a lot of the bailiffs, I can see them all turning as well. I had 2 agents, I don't know what you call them, turn up at my door the other day. So I've not paid my Eon, and I also clawed all the cash back from the bank from Eon. Do you know we've got free energy harnessed 6 metres above us? I only found that out recently. That's why all your pylons and your cables are up there. And if an energy supplier doesn't even supply the energy, technically it's not even coming from National Grid. So why are you paying Eon or Octopus or whatever? They're not supplying anything. If you look at the bills, they actually say, please pay for the supply. They're very careful to say not our or your. Look at your bills. I only noticed that the other day when they turned up at my door. So I was ready for him. I was like, fucking come on. Looked out the window, and 3 of them I could just see. I just thought that for me then, Eon, van, 3 of them with clipboards, masks on. I was like, oh, fucking masks. Come on, I don't want you all in my fucking flat anyway if you're worried about a virus. And they buzzed the flat door. Now, I didn't let them in. Somebody else must have let them in because I heard them come straight in. But they didn't even come up to my flat. They didn't even knock on the fucking door. And they just put a letter through my mailbox downstairs. I went down when they'd gone, they drove straight off. So I was like, interesting. What's that about? Couldn't wait to open it. I was like, normally I wouldn't open the mail. I was like, let's see what they put. And then maybe a couple of years ago I would have shot myself reading something like this, but I see it all for the tricks now, and it is in the wording. So this was a handwritten letter, and it's like, we turned up today to fit a meter with the warrant we'd obtained from the local magistrates. It's like, well, you didn't fucking knock on the door, so why the fuck did you use the fucking warrant? It's like, you actually clearly haven't got a warrant, you're lying. Why didn't you fit the meter? Because the meter's downstairs. So you're fucking double lying. So it was all tricks, and it was like, please pay now to stop further action, you've been charged for the visit today. Like, fuck off for free people, not even knocking on the door, not paying for anything. So just be aware of the tricks, like the language used, like it was saying your supply, their supply, not yours or ours. They're not supplying you anything, nothing at all.
Sorry, what if you're on like a pay-as-you-go meter?
Yeah, it's a bit, I just try and get it.
It's just nothing you can do about
There's
it.
easiest ways around everything, try and get it removed. Get a rogue engineer to get you back into the mains.
Oh really?
I've tried anything, we've just got to be creative now. We've all just got to start being creative and realise that they've been screwing us over for a long time. We've been lied to since the day we were born, and now it's time to fucking turn it around on them. They've been shafting us for stuff that's free, just to poison us with shit.
Money that's not even real.
And money that's not even fucking real. So it's all a fucking show, it's all an illusion.
There's a problem with the smart meters now. When they replace those with the keys, they actually put the smart meters in, which is...
Yeah, but I've just, go in the Telegram group, people are getting them removed. They're fighting back, but they're getting them removed. You can, depends how resilient you are. If somebody put one in, I'd fucking yank it out myself if someone gets in my flat. No fucking way I'm having it in there. So with the council tax then, there's loads of different ways you can do it. You can do it like I've done it, you can do it like Leah's done it in the North East, the lady on my Zoom call asking about 5G masts, but the main thing is just challenge them. Just challenge them with something. I can't believe everyone's still paying council tax. I bet you're all still fucking protesting though, aren't you? Sorry, I'm a piss taker. So water, just get a little TDS reader, like what Dane's got, and then just test your water, because in Manchester it's about 50 in the city centre. I don't know if anyone's tested their own. There's a girl in my Telegram channel that's tested hers in Southwest Water, 650. That's the highest I've seen. I said, don't be paying that.
A couple of years ago, I got a reverse osmosis filter fitted. Not for all the money, but I got a TDS meter.
Right.
And did the old test. You stick it in, it doesn't even need a battery. Very cheap. From the reverse osmosis filter, it's about 5 figures on the digital. Just says 5. When you put the tap water in, you put it in the tap water, it's 550. Meaning parts per million of shit.
Yeah, I would never have believed it. I've always drank the tap water until about 4 months ago.
Reverse osmosis every couple of years. You
Right.
Get somebody to come on and screw the filter in.
Sorry,
Right.
can I just add something? Just be careful about TDS meters because they don't tell the whole story. They only measure total dissolved solids. That will include salts and minerals. So one of what you
I
need.
put some salt back in.
Yeah, I'm not suggesting that. But so if you're reading your own water supply, it doesn't mean it's got pollutants.
But we asked them for a full breakdown of chemicals as well.
Yeah.
So Natasha Knight got 3 pages A4 of cyanide, fluoride, arsenic, lead, nickel. I couldn't believe what they'd actually wrote back with. I was like, that. She's not paid on direct debit, so she's not entitled to the direct debit refund. But I was like, that alone, it's like paying for a service that you were lied to about. I was like, just go for a fucking refund anyway. So I couldn't believe it. Even on their own safety levels, it's higher than all their things. I don't know why they've sent it to her. Must be some dumbass who said that. I don't understand why they would have sent that to her, but it's gold. So, but make sure you write to all your water boards and ask them for a full breakdown of all the chemicals, and ask them why their staff at the plant wear full PPE.
So you ask them to give you a
Full breakdown. You want full breakdown of what you... They've got to? Yeah, fluoride, cyanides, everything's in there. Arsenic, lead and nickel was really high. Arsenic! I know. But yeah, again, they love us, yeah. They want us to be sick, yeah. They love us so much. But I wouldn't have believed it with my own eyes and not tested the water. And then I did a talk a few weeks ago in Middleton, North Manchester, and a couple turned up and they're having legal battles with United Utilities because they've got land, they've got a spring on their own land. United Utilities 2 years ago told them, you're not allowed to use your spring, it's illegal, and we're going to put a water meter on your land. They said fuck off. They put one while they were out one day. So they were like, Stacey, can you help us? They've got this battle. Apparently, but they want you to drink their poison shit. They don't want you drinking clear spring water.
Parts of America, you can't hoard water on your own.
Yeah, they won't let you collect rainwater either, apparently. Yeah. There's a reason you want it is dark waters, literally.
Water in parts of the States. Regarding if you hoard water, they'll tax you.
But it's same here though for collecting rainwater. Apparently you're not allowed. Yeah.
You can't collect rainwater.
Apparently so. I got told the other day. Check it, double check it, don't take my word for it, but I can believe it. So they want you drinking their toxic supply, and you can, it's business. For their point of view, it's business. They're putting whatever they want into us, and we're drinking it, and it's the best way to poison someone, put it into the water supply. So just start pushing back on the water companies, withhold your payments immediately until they clarify what's in your water. That's it. And if they don't, if you're not satisfied, that's it. Then you start going for your refunds. Well, I went for my refunds before I got clarification, but I'm a bit gung-ho. It depends how much you don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck, as you can tell. Luke's glaring at me. In terms of has anyone got any questions on council tax or water then? Fucking hell, Tim, is it boring you? Bye, Brent. Fucking hell, mate. Jesus. Oh.
Got some trees to chop, everybody.
Trading thing you just mentioned about the free energy just a few meters up.
Yeah.
Explain what you meant by that.
Someone told me about that recently, so I've started looking into it, and it does seem to be true. Well, if the energy can't be created, why are we paying for a company that's not creating it or supplying it? Look at the wording. They know they're not supplying anything, or they're not creating anything.
You mentioned at the beginning that you've made a few mistakes. Can you tell us what those mistakes were?
Or just joining in some group. I think all groups are controlled, a lot of them. I just think there's a lot of... Everyone wants to be part of something, I get that. So everyone joins a group, and there's this bullshit thing like, we are the 99%, we're united as one, divided before. All these bullshit psyops like you don't need to be part of a big group to stand in your own sovereignty or sovereign. We're higher than sovereignty. We're actually sovereign, we're dominion. So I think that's just because that's never going to happen. If you get all these groups and they're all different factions, but they're never all going to join together. So you're almost waiting for everyone to join. It's never going to happen. It's just a pipe dream.
Is that what you mean by mistake? You joined
Just to join the group, but it wasn't what I thought it'd be. So wasted a lot of time with that. But I learned a lot of stuff from it. So everything's a learning curve. But I just think there's this, join this group, that group, we do this, and we all need to stand together and we're going to get bigger. But again, that's just waiting for something that's never going to happen, and not everyone's going to think the same at the same time. So that's another totalitarian state. It's never going to happen. So people are waiting, stopping, looking at who they are because they're waiting for the group to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's not going to happen. It's an illusion. You just need to stand strong in yourself and know who you are, and learn how to challenge these bullshit entities.
They're going to close it anyways if it gets too big.
What's that?
Any group would be closed anyways if it gets too big.
Yeah, I just think the groups, a lot of the groups are controlled. I don't know. I just think it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Oh.
And the opposite of government is self-government, right? Self-sufficiency. So the
Just
more
make stands. Yeah, we don't need to be governed by anyone or anything. Protesting is granting authority to a legal fiction that's got no authority in the first place. So it doesn't make any sense to do that. Begging. I'm going to go on to TV licensing now, unless anyone's got any other questions. Yeah.
Yeah, what if you're renting and so say you withhold, can you get into can the landlord or the agency come at you, or have they got get no
It
pay?
depends on your landlord, because my friend Natalie, she's not paying anything, but her landlord's fully on board with it. The council actually rang the landlord to try and get keys, and the landlord told them to do one, and rang Natalie and told her. So it depends what relationship you've got. They will try these little tricks. So they don't know who they are though either, they've been indoctrinated. They don't realise they work before us, beneath us. So, you know, it's fun to put these people in the place as well, have some fun with it. Don't fear them, that's the main thing. When they come in with their little clipboards, the fuck are you? Because I think we've just been brought up in this schooling system just for fear authority, and again, that's all an illusion, it doesn't exist. You get your head around that, it's all a joke. Someone over here? No? Anyone not paying TV licence? Yep. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's better. So again, no laws about TV licence. How long have we got? Okay, cool. So TV licence, and that's probably the easiest one to stop paying. We own the BBC, we own the media. If you don't like their output, don't fucking pay for it. There's people fucking camping outside Media City. Like, what the fuck is that about? You're gonna get sectioned, and there's only one signature required now. For camping outside. Like, seriously, don't try and change something that's old, outdated, corrupt, full of pedos, horrible, not needed. Just get rid of it, ignore it, create something better. There's no point fighting and challenging and going against the tide of life. Just create something better, and everyone else who's on board will flow with us, and that's it. Make it redundant that way. Pardon? There's no point fighting it, but we can just reject it. And I think they're almost like a bit in awe of us. That's why they're going to cull a load of these other people. And they need us to create the better world as well. They do need us, because we'll create something better. Those people that they've already got can't create what we can create. They can't. They're just takers, the useless eaters. They are. They don't create anything. They're just consuming. So they almost need us. So I don't think there's going to be anything bad happening to us unless you focus on it and you want it to happen, you manifest it. They want us, they need us to create. To raise consciousness levels. They almost probably want the energy as well. So I think they're using us in a good way. I'm not bothered, bring it on.
Yeah, I stopped paying for my TV license. I stopped the direct debit.
Yeah.
This is over 6 months ago. I haven't had any problems, but how do I get the money back from all the payments that I've made?
Right, okay, there's a number of ways to do that. You paid direct debit, yeah, just to your license. Has anyone claimed the direct debit payments back yet? Has anyone not been on the Zoom calls? No. So there's a direct debit indemnity guarantee. It says if you paid anything in error by direct debit, you're entitled to immediate refunds.
How far back can you go?
Whether how you can claim. My mate got 12 years. Some people only got, I think, where's Samantha? Samantha's still there. Samantha's still there? No, Samantha was here before with the little girl ring round. She just got $3,000 back.
Yeah,
It's taken a few weeks, but she got it back.
I haven't paid one now for about 3 years.
Right.
Well, it did before that, and I never thought that way.
Try it. I don't know, there's no one size fits all. I'm not like some sort of guru. It depends on how you are on the day on the phone, what the energy is like on the person receiving you on the phone, what fucking mood they're in, what mood you're in, how much knowledge they have. It's so many factors. It's not, I don't know. You have to just try it.
Can you send them a letter?
I tried it before I knew what I know now. And I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just bored one afternoon and thought, fuck it, I'm going for it. And then I got $2,500 back on my council tax immediately. And then I got 2 months later, I thought, I'm just going to try water and Eon. And I got $5,000 back for that. So I got $7,500 back. Yeah.
Can you get the money back if you're not on the
Try it, because again, going back to the service level agreement that they've not agreed to when you never signed it in the first place, try it. Try it. We've been shafted, guys. Just try whatever you can. Just give them a fucking headache. Whatever you pay, this is the direct debit. They always give you a get-out clause for everything. So any direct debit error, you immediate refunds, and no one's allowed to start asking you loads of questions either. So if you've made the error, you've got to say, I've made the error, it's come out by accident. That's it. instant 24 hours.
Can you just do that through your bank rather than contacting the institution then?
They will ask, have you contacted the merchant?
Right.
So council tax I had sent those letters off. So I was like, yeah, I had. Not had the conversation, but yeah, they didn't tell them I was going for the cash back.
Can you just say that you have and just contact the bank?
If you feel comfortable doing that, yeah. If you feel, I did that with water and energy.
Yeah.
So I did that, but I'm not like some people. So that's up to you if you feel like comfortable doing that.
I've done it with the bank in different situations, and if you ring up the bank and explain to them, you know, this is an error that I've made up sometimes. They didn't like the service I got about something, and they said, you know, they've done this, they've done that. What the bank will do is they will pay you first before you investigate.
Yeah.
So when they pay you first, they will only take the money back if it's deemed that there's a case against you in regards to so-called research that's done. But banks are so busy, particular banks don't give a fuck about anybody.
Yeah,
Now when the business gets a letter from a bank saying, "Oi you, what have you done?" That money that error money you're trying to get back is not been taken from you, it's been taken from the bank. So the company will give in because they're taking on the bank. And banks don't like losing face. So they will send in shitty letters to businesses who may actually be struggling as well. So they're going to pay up, so they're going to pay to the bank.
They've got 28 days, the merchant, to contest it. Councils probably won't move in that time. So after 28 days, the cash is yours. And water started to try and claw it back from me and just shut my bank account down. Like, no, that was it. So the water can't cut you off. I'm trying to work out whether energy can, like with these people turning up and threatening me. I'm not bothered if they cut me off, I'll find a way to get back on.
They can't cut you off.
I don't think they can. I've heard from different people on the Instagram that they've been cut off. I'd prefer to find out my own way if they can cut me off. I'm not bothered if they cut me off.
10 years ago, we cut the power, gas and electric, some people died. It was over.
Oh, okay, that's good to know. As in, not good, but
because of potential vehicle repercussions,
right.
They changed the law that they cannot cut.
Okay.
They might put you on emergency rate and charge you.
Well, I'm not paying anything anyway, so it's fine. Put me on whatever rate they fucking want.
You can't just cut it off.
Right, I'll find out then.
With water, they can reduce the pressure.
Yeah.
They can't cut you off.
I've lived in Africa, mate. If they can give a fuck off. You've got to just stop worrying about things. It's like, fuck off. I don't care. Like, they try and scare you, try and get in your head. Look, I get bills from mine because I rent out my spare room. I get bills for ex-tenants constantly. Just go straight in the bin. It's like, they're not even in the country anymore, these foreign students. It's like, but you just got to think of it. What it is, people get emotionally invested in the name on the envelope. Then they start panicking, fear sets in, worry, and then they think they're in debt. And it's all fucking a sham. It's all a sham. Bid it, if you want. Or you can challenge it like, you know, we had in the Telegram group. However, whatever feels comfortable for you, I'd say.
With the council tax, a friend of mine stopped paying a few years ago, 3 years I think it was, because they went for a husband and put an attachment of earnings on her husband.
Yeah, if you're working in the system, they will try and do that. That's why I'm saying go through the letter process, challenge them. If they start doing that, say, hang on a minute, you're hardship. Not allowed to give you, they're not allowed to cause you any harm either. So they have their evil has its own rules. So they don't cause any harm unless they get you to do it to yourself through deception. It's all through self-harm, by your ignorance or nescience of your rights and the law. So you can. There's ways of doing that though. But do it the letter way if you're worried about that in the system. I work for myself now, so yeah. Best way is not to be reliant on the system, but you know, I get some people are.
Stacey, do you have any processes for the mobile telephone company?
I've not done that yet. I tried not paying for mine and they keep restricting me, so I'm just working that one out. You need to just not be worried about trying to work it out. You don't know the nature of the beast unless you rattle its cages, so I'm just trying to figure things out and then work a way around it. So, yeah, I might just go do the refund direct debit. I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, because I am actually using their service that allegedly they provide, but I've not even gone down that route yet, so I don't know if they are fucking providing it. Probably not. It's a fucking sham, probably. I think you should ask us questions somewhere. Oh no, cool. Has anyone got any questions so far? Anyone?
What's your Telegram?
Stacey's World Rocks. All the information I put for free in there. If you spend some time trawling through. All the answers are in there. I do weekly, 2 weekly Zooms for people as well. There's people getting hundreds of pounds back, if not thousands. There was an ex-policewoman came on the Zoom about 3 weeks ago, and halfway through the course, well, I'm an ex-policewoman, and what you're saying is right. We have no power. Like, I've just left because I realised it was all a show. So she was echoing what we were all saying. So she couldn't live with herself anymore. Like, there's a lot of these people now that are working in these corrupt systems. They just don't know what to do about it. They're all coming out. They're all coming out. So we just, create something better when they're all out of here. It's fine. But she said everything you say, Stacey, is right. She got straight on the fucking phone, got $6,000 back. $6,000? It's like even I didn't manage that one. That was after a 2-hour Zoom.
The group like what you put together, I think it gives people kind of the confidence to be able to do that.
Yeah. There's normal people doing it. Like, I wish Samantha was still here. Do you know the little girl that was quite noisy and there's a guy in the... So Samantha there was, honestly, when I met her here, I came to Paris. Do you remember Samantha coming? She was scared. She was like so anxious, like really nervous, scared of everything. And she stayed behind and I spoke to her a bit. And I was like, when you think, not so sure about this one. But she asked a load of questions and I was like, you're asking stupid questions. And she's like, no, I've got it. And she did ask a lot of questions. She got straight on it. It took her about 3 weeks. Straight on it. She's not given, like, the bank actually said no to her at first. And she pushed back and she's complained. She just got $3,000 back. $3,000 returned to her in unlawful payments. And actually, the difference in her is unbelievable. There's her and another girl called Chloe. Again, she came here, I think. Them two, I've never seen such a paradigm shift. Just 2 hours in a meeting. So it's all about what's up here. If you can get control of your mind, you can do anything.
Can I just ask, are some of them claiming money back but carrying on paying the current bill?
No, fuck no. Fuck no.
I'm just asking.
No, I'm joking. No, absolutely no way. No. Ends there.
Does it mess up your credit though?
If we're worried about credit, then we're still buying into the bullshit, aren't we? I don't know if you're buying a house or something soon, if you've got a mortgage coming, then if somebody raises a flag on your credit, then there's also ways you can deal with that, with data subject access request. So if you think about GDPR law, privacy laws, nobody should be sharing fucking data on you.
Yeah.
So find out which motherfuckers have been speaking and same with the DSAR.
System's illegal then.
Exactly, the whole system is corrupt. It's all based on deception. That's what I'm trying to say, it's bullshit.
So fucking Experian.
Fucking just go for it, guys. Fucking go get your cash back.
To show their hand with the DSAR, they won't, because it'll show the
Yeah,
bullshit.
so they don't tend to do that, and they just DSAR, a data subject access request. So there's ways around that credit rating thing as well.
I heard that they're going to close Experian.
Good.
And all the credit rating stuff.
Oh, good. That's good.
I think they're looking at it in America.
Right. Hopefully they do. I think he just put the. Is it 20 minutes? I've got time for some questions. Anyone got any other questions, or anyone think I'm full of shit? Anyone want to give some feedback? Yeah.
I just think full shit.
Yes.
Generally.
Yeah, whatever. Yoga man. I did my first ever yoga session with him last week. I was like a broken umbrella in the wind. It was awful. It was awful. Hated every minute. Anyone got any questions? I know it's a lot to get your head around, but if you can get your head around the fact that you're not your name and you're above all these entities and all the fears in your head, it's just a show. And if you focus on bullshit, you'll get more bullshit. So if you're looking at the latest legislation passed in Parliament, then you're going to be worried and scared. I don't look at it. I don't read anything. If anyone sends me links, I don't watch it. Someone's just sent me something on my Instagram before. Watch this person's take on this. I don't care about someone's take on it. I care about my own take. I don't care. You can spend your life, and some people have spent the whole year watching other people's takes on what's going on, and you've got nothing to show for it, and you're still paying your bills. You're still probably banging pots and drums outside empty buildings. So that's how they steal your time and your energy, guys, with bullshit. And I heard somebody say something about Australia before. I've got friends in Australia. They're not having the same experience that you think they're having by watching the media. Military. It's not happening with my friends. One of them's just taking a van out and they're going travelling around Australia. Tom Barnett's a good friend of mine. No such thing as a virus guy. He's not having that experience. Got to switch off from the news.
heard something that when you get a letter basically from any company, it's not actually written in English, it's written in something.
Legalese. Yes, legalese is a made-up language thing.
I don't actually read legalese.
You should do, it's interesting. I just get a bill now. I like to do things now just to challenge them to see what I get through the post. So I got on a train like 2 or 3 months ago and didn't get the ticket just to see if I got caught on the way through the barriers at Manchester by the transport police to see what they'd give me. And they didn't make me sign anything, but I got a letter through the post saying you penalty or whatever, penalty charge notice. It's not really official. I just laughed at it. It's like fucking, I took a picture and binned it. It's like, there's no signature. You're just trying to get me to consent to something. But it wasn't. It's just laughable. I maybe should post it on my story. But it wasn't addressed to me. They were trying to get me to admit that I'd committed this alleged crime, but there was no victims, there was no crime, and it was just nonsense. If you could just see the words. Yeah, because I wanted to get the letter through. But I could have been somebody else giving a fake name to my address. I could do that any time, and I actually did that. So I got detained by the police in Great Yarmouth back in, was it May? So we went, me and my friend who teaches the police how to restrain people properly. So they picked the 2 worst people, really. We were in a shop without masks on, and the police, the shopkeeper shat himself, said, get masks on, get out of my shop. We were like, no, we're just buying some fucking drinks. And he's like, I'm going to ring the police. So it's like, ring the fucking police, then we'll sit and wait for him. So he rang the police came, 2 police cars, sirens, flashing lights, in the middle of Great Yarmouth, surrounded. We're like, fucking not wearing a mask to get some fucking rum and ginger beer. Really? And the police were like, right, it's been a crime. I was like, where's the crime, where's the victim? Well, seriously, what the fuck is this shit about? Guys, it's all optics. We just looked at each other like, let's just fucking have this fuck, let's just have a ball. For 20 minutes, they actually handcuffed my friend Doug, and they didn't handcuff me for some reason, but then they were also stood there with masks, not knowing what to do, asking for details. I went, what do you want details of? Who? I was like, where's the victim first, and then we'll talk details. And then they were just, honestly, it was. I filmed it, it's on my Instagram. And I'm asking them, saying, are you under oath, guys? Are you under oath? Or are you policy enforcement officers for the government? What are you? What is your oath? And anyway, after 20 minutes, they were like, right, just give us some details and we'll let you go. And I went, so if I give you the name of the person, we can go, yeah? And they said, yeah. So I'll just give him a fucking name of somebody I don't particularly like. I gave him my address because I wanted to see if something came through the post. And then they unhandcuffed Doug and we just went. It's weird. So it's like, they just wanted to, if you think about it, you're in your private realm, private, land of the living man, living woman, human being. They're in the public realm, public sector, public servant, public health. They've got no jurisdiction in your private realm. They have to try and trick you over with words, legalese, all sorts of, do you understand? Give us some details. They just try and trick you with words to try and get you over there to consent into giving fucking details in your legal fiction name. So I just give them any random name, that was it. They just didn't know what to do. They were just they needed something to work with because they've got no jurisdiction, they've got no powers. They were. I said to one of them, there's always one Nazi, isn't there? The 3 of them were nice, one of them Nazi, and I said, don't be such a cunt. And he was like, oh, that's an offence. I went, I don't think it is, it's on the BBC website in a Robert Burns poem, so take it with them. So then his colleagues started laughing, and that was the end of that as well. So it's like, what is this show? It's like a sham. So you've got to start seeing it in a different way. It is a sham. It's a joke. I just laugh at it all now. Don't take any of it seriously.
Just a little recap. So if I was to go home today and then just decide to stop paying council tax, the water and the electricity supply, send the letters out.
Yeah. Yeah. Send letters out first. You might want to wait for a response if you want. They will. The water and the energy will try and claw the cash back. They'll try, it's up to you, but make sure you've got a bank account that you're happy to close just in case. If you've sent the letters, they might not do that though. Since I've not sent the letters probably. I'm just trying to protect you, cover everything. So.
Stacey, when you said about, hold on, what's my train of thought now?
Been a long day, hasn't it?
Sorry, hold back a bit. Oh yeah, but when you said you were trying to get arrested, I was listening to some ex-policemen who were saying that you've got to give your name and address. If you don't, then they're more likely to arrest you. But then
For what though? The police operate under common law allegedly. They swear an oath to protect the people.
they were saying that
What law? Yeah, but it's against the law to arrest people that have not committed a crime.
Yeah, that works.
So,
I'm saying that
yeah, so that's.
to give a false name or a false
But what is my name? Who knows?
No,
It's,
if you're giving
but that's not law. You're taking legislation. I'm not adhering to any legislation of theirs unless I want something. Unless I want something like public health, their law, or something. I don't know. Whatever I want.
So you gave a false name of your right address.
Yes, I wanted to start came with the post.
But this is what Central Police said you have to give your correct name.
Based on what though? What was the whole detaining people about though? Do you know who you are? You need to know who you are. Because it's just, legislation doesn't mean anything. They've got to uphold common law. They've got to uphold cause no harm, cause no loss. And if anything outside of that, it's bullshit. So they wasted our time. I should have started charging them for the time they wasted. My curry was going cold. It's like, fuck off. Anyone else? No? Wrap up then if you want.
Stacey, if you give them your name, you've created joinder with them.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, if I give my name, I've created some sort of joinder. So yeah, so yeah. Well, I asked them what crime we committed. Where's the victim? What crime? Yeah. I think me and Doug that night we'd had a couple of beers and we just wanted to have a bit of fun with them. I think, being honest, yeah, we have a bit of fun with them. Okay, cool. Well, I've got 10 minutes left. Anyone got any questions? Got any experiences? Anyone worried about anything?